And welcome everyone, guys, to game number 1. Predictions are open still for 4 minutes. Let me fix this real quick. There we are. We have Sitaux versus Slam. Sitaux playing with Chatters and Slam playing with Chinese. Mordiel, we're doing Habub Socotra created this week. 1 player lost, 2 villagers trying to lane Kuznolo. This is 1600 elo, holy crap. That is interesting for sure. That's gotta hurt. Here we go. This is pretty good start already. Slam's going to be the player to get the first kill over here, and a villager kill at that. This is the scout over there, but he does have more, so it's not going to be too tragic. Archer ranges for Sitaux. He's got 1 scout only. Meanwhile, Slam's got the stable and the archer range, so he's gonna go for scouts and archers. This is a very, very expensive army composition for Slam. Fortunately for him, though, he's going to have a little bit of a stronger economy because of the Chinese. I have a feeling I might finally win my bracket, even though I have 20 APM. Oh, you've seen your APM? Nice. Let's go, Potato Walls. He's made a little bit of an arena for himself. Meanwhile, I'm not really sure. I guess maybe Slam's more like an arena over here. This is kind of like a fortress. But yeah, Slam's going to connect this to the edge of the map. This is good. Ideally, well, obviously, if he was able to go for the walls like this, that'd be fantastic because he will be able to secure this. But it's not going to be quite as practical. So you're probably just going to see something like this. And he's going for it indeed. Oops. Slam's getting almost enough to go out to the castle. Sitau's going to have him beat though. Yeah. I said earlier that because of the Chinese is going to have a stronger economy. I was thinking of the Valhalla tournament. Because on Valhalla, Chinese are still going to have extra villages, but here on Empire War Start, I think it's the same villager count for both. They still have a pretty strong economy because they pay fewer resources for upgrades, right? So he went for double bit axe and fletching, and in the end he's going to end up saving resources from both those upgrades compared to how many resources Sitau's gotta spend, but yeah, that's about it. Good pressure from Slam. And he's finally going up to the castle. It's so much later though. A full minute later. There's going to be a very nice head start for Sitaux. Yeah, they're still really strong for sure. Does anybody know how many people Deathmatch Ladder had before it got retired? Because Empire Wars right now is like 3,000 people, but with Red Bull Wololo, you're probably expecting a lot of people to be playing Empire Wars a lot more. So I'm not really sure what it was before. Regardless though, the engagement over here going in favor of Sitaux has got significantly more units, plus, yeah, pretty good unit control over there. Ends up losing a few archers, but gets completely rid of Slam's army. So now, Slam's going to be back on square one, going for archers from scratch. And Sitaux, on the other hand, well, he's managed to hold on to a good amount of units. He's got 9 archers, 8 archers right now, actually. Just lost one over here. To upgrade to crossbowman, he's going for Balkan arrow too.
Hazır. Emriniz. Emriniz Gemardemen.
Double archer ranges for Slam though. In Sitaux, I would imagine he's on 2 archer ranges himself, yes. But he's not going for a third one, and then at the same time, he's not really going for a second TC, so it doesn't seem like he's gonna try and play for economy, or at the very least not yet. He's not going for any archers, so he actually is saving resource to go for the second TC. Where is it? Okay, ballistics actually. Never mind. And Slam on the other hand, he's got into the Castle Age, he's going for blocking arrow. Has not gone for either an extra TC or the university, so no ballistics coming up for him. This can be really good for Sitaux. As only now leather archer armor is coming up for Slam. These crosses are still going to be pretty effective, we'll see. Especially with ballistics. About to finish researching in 3, 2, 1. He's got it. Here we go. In the end, he's going to end up getting cleaned up over here. Can't really do too much damage. With leather arch armor's finished research already for Slam. Yeah, these crosses are not really going to do too much damage. At the very least, he can kind of try and bail, though. He's got 3 archers left over here, but these skirmishers won't be able to, yeah, land any shots over here without ballistics. So Slam's going for the second TC. And no cavalry archer, no cavalry archers from Sitaux. He's just been sticking to standard archers, and weirdly enough, he's still on only 2 archer ranges. So I'm not really sure what Sitau's plan is over here. It doesn't seem like he's going to be full military production. Doesn't seem like it's going to be economy either. Kind of like a hybrid approach. I mean, he's going for siege right now as well, in addition to archers, but that's about it. And then if we take a look at the right hand side, there's a 30C coming out for Slam already. I was predicting Sitaux to perform a little bit better compared to Slam in the set. So far, I don't see that happening. Slam's doing a really good job keeping up with everything. He's gotten the only villager pick so far in the game. The overall KD is very similar between both players, and given the fact that Slam was trading trash units for gold units, it was pretty good. Plus, with the second and third TCs, he's going to start pulling ahead in villager count right now. And Sitaux is still not committing to anything. Only now he's going for the second TC, but this is very awkward to see. And I am not really sure what the plan is over here for Sitaux. The production is pretty slow. Unit choice, I'm not going to go as far as to say it's questionable. But certainly, archers alone, even with 1 mounted over here, are certainly not going to do too much damage. He is going for the 30C though, now finally. On the left hand side. Even if that means he's only going to be playing catch up, at the very least there is a plan right now for Sitaux compared to before. I think. At the very least there is an apparent plan for Sitaux, I should say. And I like this a little bit better. If he ends up going full economy and goes for a 4TC for instance, he should be able to catch up the Slam and villager count, and it's not going to be too much damage. He's not going to fall too far behind. Very good. TC comes up. Yeah. And Sitaux is just going to make a switch to playing for full economy. Meanwhile, Slam is going for a little bit of military. It's not going to be too much. It's not likely he'll be able to do over here much of anything. University coming out for Slam. Yeah, and it seems like the game is going to be pretty uneventful from this point onwards until the players get to the Imperial Age and start going for stronger units. And Sitaux obviously is going to have to make a switch into something else. The crosses are not going to scale too well for Tatters. Meanwhile, Slam on the other hand, well, Slam's got a civilization that's going to allow him to go for whatever the heck he wants, so it's good.
Hazır.
Let's take a look at the engagement. The attack round's not the best. For either player, that was a lot better for Sitaux, but Slam ends up getting another good shot over there.
Emriniz.
In the end, because of the hail over here, Sitaux was able to survive. Otherwise, he probably would have lost the magnet over there if it was on flat ground for both. But he does end up getting a 1-0 trade over here. Meanwhile, the Crossos are still looking much stronger for Sitaux in terms of numbers. He's just gotta be careful not to lose the magnet over there as he's bringing the villager over. The pathing over there is not the best. He still has 2 additional magnets coming over here though, and Slam's got just the 1. So maybe the game was not going to be quite as uneventful as I thought it was going to be. So magnet goes down, Slam starts feeling the pressure from Sitaux. Yeah, and you know what? With the magnet going down over there, and I'm not really sure if Slam actually deleted the magnet or not, but it was not going to do anything. Sitaux's looking really strong. Here he comes, a lot of crossbows. He's got the magnets over there. If he was able to breach through the foundation over here of the blacksmith, then he's gonna be able to right now, but not on time. He might have been able to come in and deny this gas a full stop, but it's not going to be the case right now. Unfortunately, he decided to go around and try to fish for some exposed villages. This would have been good had he not known about the TC over here. Definitely would have preferred for him to try and make a play for coming in over here. You see, he's coming in way too late now. But yeah, the game is looking a lot more interesting right now compared to a few minutes ago. With the defensive castle, Slam's going to buy himself some protection until we get to the Imperial Age. But Sitaux has managed to get enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age faster compared to Slam. And on his way he is. Slam, on the other hand, is gonna be able to go up to the Imperial Age himself very soon, but haven't spent the resources to go for the castle over there. And don't get scared, it's just T. Having collected the resource to go for the castle over there, as opposed to collecting the resource to go up to the Imperial Age, is going to delay his uptime by quite a bit. So this buys himself some time, the castle, right? But then it also delays his uptime at the same time. So a little bit of a double whammy bar, as they say. Good pressure still though from Sitaux, getting the archer ranges down. And you gotta wonder, very soon he'll have enough resources to go for the castle. Because he was the first one to click up to the Imperial Age, it doesn't really hurt for him to be the second player to get the castle up, as long as he can get the castle up before he gets to the Imperial Age. And even, not even that, as long as he gets the castle up before Slam is able to put trebuchets out. If he gets to that position, that's going to be so much better for Sitaux. So I want to see the villagers go forward and get the castle up. He's not sending anyone forward though. And this kind of seems like a wasted opportunity. If he had sent... Yeah, there we go. I was going to suggest this hill. If he had sent the villagers over to go for the castle over here before, he might have been able to get the castle up before he got to the Imperial Age, or at the very least at the same time. But now, this castle is coming up at about the same time as Lamb's getting to the Imperial Age, which means that he's not really going to have a head start in trebuchet production anymore. Good defense for Sam. Just trying to get control of the hills over here before Sitaux gets any ideas. There we go, the castle's coming up. He's sending a bunch of villagers forward. Meanwhile, Zam is only 40 seconds or so away from the Imperial Age. We'll see. There will be a little bit of a head start for Sitaux to go into trebuchets, but it's going to be very small. Instead, he's going for plate part and armor right away. Cavalier. So the transition from archers is going to be into knights. Cavaliers, should I say now. And no cavalry archers to speak of. So Slam's going still for archers. Going for skirmishers right now. I think he's probably expecting CA. But yeah. I think this can still be pretty good for Sitaux, because I believe the hill over here might be close enough to the castle that he should still be able to take advantage of the hill advantage over here when targeting the castle, plus the fact that he's tatters is so good. Means the castle's probably just going to get shredded right away. Yeah, he's got the hill over here. Unequivocally. And there's a 4TC coming out for Slam, but... Did Sitaux now realize? Oh, he didn't realize. He could actually deny the PC over there. Here you are. Keeping the Cavalier at hand as well, so they can get the villagers down. He ends up getting a lot of damage from his own mangonels, but he will still be able to get some villagers down over here. Plus the castle. Under fire from 2 trebuchets and no trebuchet production from Slam whatsoever. He's going for camels. Heavy camel rider. This transition to Cavalier has caught Slam completely unprepared. So you're probably expecting to see right now Slam call a GG very soon. That's going to leave Sitaux in a very decent spot. Taking game number 1 despite the somewhat rough start. Yeah. There we go. GG is coming up over here. Sitaux gets game number 1 over here, taking on the Chinese with tatters. Gets a better KD, about 7-4, as well as a much stronger economy, right? That's actually not true. Slam was the one to get the strongest economy over here, but I think the distribution was, or actually the timing was kind of off for Slam. Going for the castle earlier, once again bought him protection, but delayed his Imperial Age time, so despite this economy being somewhat stronger over here, he wasn't able to take advantage of it fully. Plus, I think with the KD being so much higher for Sitaux, obviously, he ended up spending a lot of extra resources going for military units that he ended up losing Slam, that is. So yeah, towards the end of the game though, Sitaux did manage to get a village elite, so from this point onwards it was going to be so much better for the Bull player, of course. $900 years, now we're in 15 minutes. So we'll switch colors again. Slam in the red color, Sitaux is going to be in blue. I think that's what we had, right? Yeah, that's what we had. For the civilization matchup over here, not really sure exactly what to expect. Once again, Franks can be extremely strong because of their faster working foragers. Which means that if he does end up making a play for the center, if he does end up going for an extra TC or potentially a castle over here, especially as he gets 25% castle discount, he could get access to so much economy over here for free that it's ridiculous. At the same time, though, there are also the pawns for players to try and go and collect, so we'll see if anybody's going to try and go for them. Usually what we'll see is player going for water, just sticking to 1 TC and just going for economy and water instead, like going for extra fishing ships, and then whoever doesn't really go for water goes for the extra TCs. Right now, nobody seems to be particularly interested in going for much of anything. We do have some scouts coming out for Slam, and we have scouts coming out for Sitaux, so both players will go for the same, but they are both also going for walls. And check the walls that Slam's going for towards the edge of the map. This is going to be huge. He's going to secure the wall line over here, plus the gold and the stone. Meanwhile, Sitaux's going for a little bit of a sack wall, so to say. And I'm not too sure about this. A bag wall. Well, he's not really going for it, actually. These are just buildings that already spawned, but he could potentially just go for some walls over here towards the edge of the map, and what is that? Towards the edge of the map, and some walls over here towards the edge of the map as well, so it doesn't mean that he needs to go for something like this. It's got to be fine. There we go. Double bit access coming up now for Sitaux. So far, so good. One villager goes down for Sitaux and Slam. It's very similar to the previous game. He loses a scout, opens up with a villager kill over here. Yeah, but then it's kind of difficult for him to keep up. We'll see. Good unit control for Sitaux as well. He's controlling the units up in the north, down the south as well, chasing the scouts away with spearmen, and then up in the north, chasing the spearmen away with archers. He does end up taking both spearmen down, while still keeping a healthy amount of scouts over here. It's been a pretty heavy investment into scout production for Sitaux, mind you, and it's been kind of similar for Slam. However, the blue player, actually the red player, sorry, is going for a dock on the right-hand side pawn, so he'll start kind of getting ahead in food economy. At the very least, Sitaux doesn't really go for one. Okay, he's going for one on the left-hand side. Never mind, it's going to be about the same for both. But yeah, at this point in time, Sitaux still has a higher amount of scouts with a much higher HP pool, and he can go forward and try to get some good damage done. He'll try, we'll see. Here comes Sitaux. But Slam, of course, he's completely walled off. Scouts are a unit you'll be able to do damage early on. You'll be able to do damage with early on. It's a unit that you'll be able to do damage if you are coming in fast enough to prevent the walls from coming out, but that is not the case right now. Wait a moment, this is open. This is not open, right? There is a tree. A fella tree over here behind. Yeah. But right now, Sitaux's, you're gonna have to get lucky over here to even be able to breach through. And because Slam's walls are so good in the sense that they are within reach for everywhere, right? For villagers to reinforce, it's very unlikely that Sitaux will actually be able to break through, so he might destroy one of the palaces over here, but Slam's getting away with 3 additional houses and he's going to be just fine. Meanwhile, Castle Age is on the way now for Slam. Scale Barden armor is coming up for him. Actually, just finished researching, and Sitaux on the other hand is going up to the Castle Age a little bit later. Slam's getting a good lead over here. He's got Franks. On this map, it can be very strong. Worker count is not quite as good anymore, though. Sitaux is actually a little bit stronger right now, so he's got more fish and ships. Despite the extra idle TC time, Sitaux's managed to stay ahead. But yeah, Slam getting to the Castle Age faster. He's going to have access to knights. And honestly, I think he's going to have access to... Yeah, he's got double stables over here, so he's going to have access to knights. And honestly, he's going to have access to castles as well, which for much cheaper are going to provide some great protection. Once again, if he goes for a castle, even a TC up in the center, and then starts collecting some of the berry bushes over here, that's going to be a huge boost to his economy. Nice sneaky dog though on the left hand side. I think Sitaux might have realized about this. Yes sir, so he's still going for fishing ships though. No navy. Interesting. Well, he'll probably end up getting cleaned up with it. That's gotta hurt. He's got 5 fishing ships over there. If he ends up getting cleaned up, that's going to bring his village count down, or his worker count down by a significant amount. Chamber of the Armor is here for Slam. The hit start to the Castle Age allowed for him to get extra upgrades up. Meanwhile, Sitaux is going for Knight still, but he's got just Scale Barden Armor. And he's open here. Gotta be careful. He realizes. Good reaction. Nice villager pick from Sitaux. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, still no navy coming up whatsoever from Sitaux, which means Slam with just 1 fire galley could very easily end up cleaning up everything. Plus, he's got some momentum over here with the knights against scouts and extra knights coming out with Chain Barden Armor, while Sitaux's only now going for the 2nd upgrade. So game number 2 is looking a lot better for Slam compared to what we had for game number 1. Can he clutch up? Can he seal the deal though? That's the question. Can he hold on to his lead? There you are. Beautiful. This is going to go in favor of Slam 100%. 110% this goes in favor of Slam. Does it? It should. Wait a moment though. Defense advantage over here from Sitaux is coming in quite clutch. He's matching up on the night count from Slam. Yeah. And he might end up pushing Slam away. Losing the villagers over here is really bad for the red player though. He might end up getting all the fishes down over here though, so in the end it's probably going to be a comparable worker count for both players. However, Slam's also going to be the first player to go for a second PC. Defense advantage for Sitaux once again. Yeah, Slam gets pushed back.
Okay.
He sends more villagers though to try and get a castle up. Let's go! Can he get away with this though? That's the question. I am not really sure. He should. Even with the defense advantage over here, Sitaux simply does not have enough knights over here. Slam's actually ramped up production quite a bit. How many stables do we have for Slam? Is it still on 2? He's still on 2. I think he might have just queued up more units, while Sitaux probably didn't. So yeah, the castle's coming up over here, and once again, because of the Frank bonus, 15% faster working foragers, he's going to get so much extra food for free over here. And then on top of that, he ends up pushing and suppressing Sitaux on the left-hand side, even though Sitaux already had vision on the dog when it was coming up. It's going to be the only player with access to both pawns as well, so he's going to have both pawns. He's going to have the center. He's got Franks, cheaper castles. Might be behind in work count right now, but that shouldn't be the case for much longer now that he's got the second TC. Plus, control of both... control of both pawns. There we go. Beautiful. More conversions coming up. Nice. Third TC now for Slam as well. Meanwhile, there is a third TC coming up for Sitaux. He was a little bit behind in TC production, but it seems to me like he'll be able to get the third TC up on time to retain the villager lead, actually. If he can keep all 3 TCs working, that's going to be huge. He's going to retain the villager lead over here. What can Khmer go for against Franks in the later stages of the game? Pantos, Chunkers. Unfortunately for him, that's going to be extremely expensive to go for. And he doesn't really have the best position over here when it comes down to map control. Alternatively, you can go for pikemen, of course, can go for monks over here, and monks for Khmer are not going to be the worst. But, yeah, not the best either. While Slam, on the other hand, will Slam in the later stages of the game is going to have throwing axemen to potentially counter pikemen. He's going to have knights, cavalier, and paladin to counter basically everything else except for chunkers once again, but that's going to be very expensive for Sitaux to go for. Plus, Slam's been going for monks himself as well, so chunkers might be a little bit of a risky choice over here. And besides that, I'm not really sure what else we could see Sitaux go for against Slam, given how strong Slam's civilization is in the later stages of the game and how much cheaper it is to get there for him compared to Sitau's civilization. It seems like Slam might actually be able to equalize the series over here. We're gonna have to wait a moment to see. Great attempt from Slam, not working out. The players from this point onwards are probably gonna try and make a play for the Imperial Age. Slam is going for some stone miners though, so that's probably going to delay him a little bit. While Sitaux, on the other hand, is not really going for any stone at all. He just needs to balance his economy though, because his food income is not the best. His eco-balancing is not the best. Here we go. Or a siege workshop for Sitaux. Interesting. As of this point, he does have a lot of extra military units compared to Slam though. So bringing the knights over here, it's going to be good. Oh, and Slam! He left it open over there. There is always a hole. And here comes Sitaux with a lot of knights. Straight into Slam's economy. This is disaster. On the right hand side, the conversion's coming up for Slam over here. Not really going to connect too well though. He doesn't end up losing most of the monks over here. I think he might have gotten one conversion only, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 monks going down. But doesn't matter. Probably not, because of all the pressure he's putting against Slam over here. Slam is losing villagers by the dozens. Well, yeah, we are getting there. It's only one village lost over here for Slam, and he's probably going to end up keep on losing more. Meanwhile, Sitaux, you know, if he sticks to military production over here, because of how much of an eco lead he's been able to pull, plus all the idle time, all the other villager time that Slam's getting from just having to garrison the villagers, it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough for Slam. As good as the Frank economy is, Sitaux is going to have a much stronger villager count, and it's only a matter of, you know, keep on producing units, keep on putting pressure up over here, and then Slam is in a wall of pain. A little bit of a Titanic there. I'm not really sure exactly what happened. Slam didn't really realize about the tile being open over there. Not in time, anyway. And he had to bring all the military he had back home. Sitaux, he doesn't need necessarily to go for more militaries. That was one choice. The other choice is to try and play for the Imperial Age, because now that Slam's gotten hurt really badly, going up to the Imperial Age should be a lot more doable for Sitaux, and he should be able to go there significantly faster compared to Slam. Which means earlier access to Cavalier. Which means the possibility of elite chunkers as well. We'll see. What's important, of course, is for Sitaux to take advantage of all the villager kills he's been able to get. Now Slam's gonna try to go for the same himself, and Sitaux is pulling all the villagers away towards the TC. And he doesn't really have any defensive units over here, though, compared to what Slam had back home, so he's probably going to end up losing a lot of villagers. He's gotta be careful. If he used the town bill, I know that it's kind of frowned upon, but he will be able to much more effectively protect the villagers, as they would automatically get to the closest house as well. And this is kind of rough. He is losing a few villagers, so not the best for Sitaux. Still significantly ahead though compared to Slam in terms of worker count, and Slam's managed to rack up with almost enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age, while Sitaux is almost there as well. In the end, it's going to be about the same uptime for both players, which I find mind-boggling given the situation Slam found himself in just a few moments ago. But yeah, Sitaux ended up getting pushed away from here as well. He was trying to go for the castle, got pushed away. Now he's going for the castle on the right-hand side. And on the left, Slam gets pushed away from here. Sitaux had to pull all the villagers, actually, sorry, all the knights back from forward so that he could defend himself, but in the end, it works out. Alright, alright, alright. Things are starting to look a little bit better. More conversions coming up. On the right-hand side. Oh, the fishing ships! Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know about that. Better for whom? Well, better for Sitaux for sure. He was able to defend himself over here. And he didn't take anywhere near as much damage compared to Slam. In the end, both players do end up going up to the Imperial Age at about the same time though. Slam's economy is still incredible despite being behind in villager count, just because of the boost for the foragers. It's just amazing how much food he's been able to get from here. It's just been thousands of extra resources. Here comes Sitaux. Gotta be careful not to get too close to the castles from Slam, of course, and he is very careful. And he's coming in, so he's breached through once again. A lot of monks over there. And there we are. Sitaux gets to the Imperial Age, and so does Lamb. 2 seconds apart. Cavalier's coming in right away for Sitaux. No plate bar than armor just yet, but yeah, he's going for plate bar than armor right now. In wheelbarrow, which Slam already had from before. Slam on the other hand is going for halberdier. Halberdier are going to counter these units, no problem. We only have monks and knights over here, so one unit is going to rule them all. That's not to say that Sitaux is going to be out of options over here. There are a few things that Sitaux could go for. First off, he's got access to hand cannoneer. He's got scorpions as well. Whatever he goes for that's going to counter halberdier is going to require protection though, for which he's going to need not only cavalier, but it's really rough because ideally he would actually want to play for his civilization strength, so scorpions and elephants, but that is so expensive. And against Franks is going to be kind of hard to make work as well because of Franks' access to bombard cannons as well, which could take care of scorpions pretty easily. So he has gotten to cavalier, he is getting to pikemen right now, but I am not really sure if that's going to allow Sitaux to do much of anything. Actually, he's falling behind now in military count, and Slam is starting to look a little bit better himself. With more halberdier coming up, but not only halberdier, but also trebuchets. He's got the center control, he's got the hill advantage. If he deploys the trebuchets within the hill over here, within the plateau, he should be able to take the castle down significantly sooner, so it's a world of trouble coming out right now for Sitaux. Despite still looking a little bit stronger for populations, just going to be a very small difference, and I don't think it matters too much. There you go. 3 trebuchets over here. Sitau's making a small hand for. And one of the trebuchets goes down to Slam's own trebuchet. This has been really, really good for Slam so far in terms of the Trebor. Basically because Sitaux is not really targeting the trebuchets from Slam whatsoever. It's just trying to go after the castle. And because castle's uphill as well, the trebuchets are not dealing anywhere near as much damage from Sitaux compared to how much damage Slam's trebuchets will deal against Sitau's castle. So right now, Sitau's just trying to focus on the castle, and Slam's trying to get the trebuchets down over here. Once the trebuchets go down, and if they do, then Slam is going to make a switch over to targeting the castle over here, for which he's going to have no issues taking down. Only one trebuchet remaining. One more shot over here. I think Slam might get lucky. Yes! So now he's going after the castle, and with the only castle being this one from Sitaux, losing this is pretty bad. Fortunately, I think he's going to get conscription on time though. But yeah, from this point onwards, Slam is... he should be able to just cruise for the rest of the game. Just been going heavily into halberdier. Now Sitau's got halberdier himself. Mind you though, the halberdier from Sitaux are not quite as good as they do not get access to plate mail armor. Meanwhile, Franks on the other hand, they will get access to it. Blast furnace, plate mail armor. Beautiful defense over here for Sitaux. But Slam's got some momentum right now. With the 4 castle coming up, plus all the halberdier to defend the trebuchets with, there's nothing really from Sitaux that's going to stop Slam's push over here. Even if he has gotten to 200 population, which is, in this situation, pretty interesting from Sitaux for sure. Castle on the left for the blue player. But yeah, this is really good. Slam's got some throwing axemen coming out right now, which can be really good against halberdier, obviously. I think hand cannoneer could be really clutch though for Sitaux, but he's not going for it just yet. Yeah. Nice snipes over here from Sitaux. Buying himself a little bit of time, and it's unbelievable to see that he is ahead in population still compared to Slam, despite all the extra resources Slam has gotten at the center over here. Sitaux's performance is really good. Only behind by 100 points or so. Yeah, and he survived against Slam's push for the most part really well. Slam still 166 population compared to 194, and Sitaux seems like he's going to be kind of locked at 200 population. We'll see. Might end up losing a few villages over here, but he's got still a lot of units moving forward. There's a lot of catching up for Sitaux to do over here, despite still being a hidden population. He's got to get a bunch of villages down. He's got to prevent Slam from being able to keep on going for more military units. And now Slam's finally utilizing his momentum to get to the back of Sitaux's base and get the raids going. Meanwhile, Sitaux's going to try to go for the same. So he's got a lot of units up in the north. There's a defensive castle coming up for Slam over here, and because we have 2 layers of walls over here between the palaces and the houses, it's unlikely Sitaux will be able to either deny the castle over here or prevent it from coming up, or even yeah, basically deny or delay it, right? Yeah, castle should be coming up. Plus, Slam's going for another 4 castle. Let me take a look at what the predictions are looking like. We had 55 and 45% for Sitaux and Slam respectively. And Slam is struggling to keep production going. Yeah, the 40s is fantastic. But yeah, Slam's struggling to keep production going. However, Sitaux's falling well below 200 population now. So it's not like he's got a significant lead over Slam at this point in time. Slam can definitely keep on putting pressure. Castle got denied? Not quite, not quite. Stop exit casting. Lovely. And this is now trouble for Sitaux. We got the defensive castle over here. Is going to have only 1 defensive castle on the back end. This is the only fortification he's got left. The rest is going to be just TCs, right? So if he ends up losing the castle over here, potentially the TCs, it's going to be completely exposed. I'm really wondering why Slam is taking so long to mass the units up, though. He's kind of like his military count and his economy count. They seem to be completely offset, or they seem to be desynced, so to say. Given the economy that Slam's handling right now, especially with all the free resources he's been getting for so long, you would expect him to be the one with a stronger military count, but Sitaux's been able to keep up, and Slam's been struggling to keep production going. You know, he does have 10 Halberdier queued up, but he's got just 2 barracks. This is the problem. This is the issue. Production is heavily bottlenecked for Slam because of not having enough production buildings. There we go. Yeah, and Sitaux starting to push Slam back. Yeah, I mean, this is... It really hurts to see. 11 Halberdier queued up from 2 barracks. This is not good for Slam. Now he's falling behind. Sitaux is starting to pull ahead in military count and in worker count as well. And Slam's starting to, you know, fall apart at the seams. While Sitaux, on the other hand, is going to get closer and closer to 200 population. A pretty intense situation in the game right now for sure, but it's a big struggle for Slam. The fact that he's the only player with access to gold right now still, and he's unable to keep on pushing against Sitaux, is just nothing short of amazing for Sitaux. Speaking of which, let's take a look at how much gold is available for each player. Sitaux's got this gold available for him still that he's going to collect from, and that's going to represent about 2k9. Meanwhile, we'll take a look at the Lucho gold over here. That's going to be 2400, so that's going to be, I believe, 5300 gold left for him if he does end up collecting this one. Meanwhile, because Slam's been going for gold units for much longer and much more heavily, he's got just the 1 gold mine over here for 100, and then he's got this one which he's not collecting from right now for 600, so he's got 700 left. And Sitaux, on the other hand, if he does end up getting control of both these golds, and this one he does have control of, but if he does end up getting control of this one, that's going to give him so much more gold compared to what Slam's got available for him still. Can you gather on the right dock? Would be so beautiful. I don't think he will be able to range the castles though, unfortunately. He would only be able to range... And I'm talking about Sitaux, right? But yeah. Both players with hero-like cavalry. Yeah, unbelievable. These two have gotten so many kills. Actually, the one has gotten so many kills. 14 kills over here. Sitaux does not realize about this. But he did send some extra villagers over the left though, so he's not going to be completely out of gold. Let's take a look at the light cavalry over here. 7 villagers light cavalry has been able to get so far. Make that, yeah, 9. Or 8 rather. A lot of trebuchets. Yeah, and still Sitaux's not reacting to the push from Slam at all. But yeah, we have 5 freaking trebuchets from Sitaux. He's gonna start pushing with. He's got Halberdier to protect him with, as well as Arbalesters to potentially take care of both Halberdier and throwing axemen from Slam. So there we go, and man, this castle's going down in 2 volleys. Right? Wow, 3 actually. Damn. Yeah, there we go. Slam's forced into trying to repair this. For volleys, now that he's trying to repair the castle, but it's still going to go down. Actually, might end up being more like 5 volleys, and some of the trebuchets over here do take some damage over here. One of the trebuchets gets destroyed, but the castle should still go down for sure, and there he goes! While Sitaux still has a decent amount of military units over here, respectable amount of army to push with and defend the trebuchets with, he's going to move on to the second fortification, and losing the castles over here is going to be extremely rough for Slam. He's run out of gold, cannot go for throwing axemen anymore, can only go for skirmishers and halberdier. Both units should be easily countered by what Sitaux's got to play with right now, between light cavalry and arbalesters. With good unit control, Sitaux's going to be in a much better position, while the game was looking much better for Slam. Just a few minutes ago, he ended up running out of gold. He ended up getting pushed back over here, struggling to suppress Sitaux. The French player over here is going to end up taking this one by the looks of it, or at the very least he's pushing back very heavily. Getting closer and closer to 200 population, while Slam is still on 150 or so. He's struggling to keep up even with population, so I'm not really sure if he's going to start dropping under 150 very soon. What is the barracks situation for Slam? Has he ever gone for extra barracks? Yes, he has. It's taken a while! If he had extra... There he goes. Slam calls it GG. If he had a higher production potential since earlier, he would have been able to take this game. I feel it in my bones. But game number 2 goes in favor of Sitaux. I'm starting to lose my voice already. It's been a very intense weekend. I'll have you know. What was it yesterday? 8 hours and a half, and today 7 hours. Oh boy. But yeah. Very, very strong performance for Sitaux, despite getting a pretty back AD ratio over here compared to Slam. He still managed to come back over here, especially towards the end of the game. Slam was, yeah, always struggling to keep up with the military count. Much stronger economy though for Sitaux, collecting about 14,000, actually 13,100 extra resources or so compared to Slam. And we take a look at the worker count, and it was looking better for Slam for a big chunk of time towards the end of the game. But yeah, Sitaux did manage to get a villager lead for the majority of the games. That's going to explain the extra resources. This was a really interesting game though, and Slam's struggling. I was predicting a fairly straightforward set over here for Sitaux. I was not necessarily expecting a 4-0, but maybe a 4-1 or 4-2 at most, and it certainly seems to be what we're on our way to. There we are. So, go nuts. Fantastic. Once again, we are just going to switch the player colors over here. We're going to keep Slam in the red, and we are going to keep Sitaux in blue. Beautiful. And the map for game number 3 is the ball. Meanwhile, for civilizations, we have Bohemians for Slam, and Sitaux got Byzantines. Forgetting about increasing production potential, we're going up to Imp with a better position. Such a frustrating way to lose. Yeah. He was heavily bottlenecked, unfortunately. Felt like Slams came to win here. Got to be frustrated after that. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Oh, wow. The walls are coming up right away. Yeah. Not a whole lot of military production for anyone over here. Damn. So Bohemians versus Byzantines. I am pretty curious as to what Bohemians are going to do over here. Usually we see Bohemians just go for full monk pushes in maps like this where they are so close to their opponents. So going out to the castle ASAP, go for triple, quadruple monastery, maybe a siege workshop. More often than not a siege workshop, and they just try to push. While Byzantines, well, they can start putting pressure from the get-go with trash units that they get them for cheaper. Yeah, but that's about it. Then it's going to be better for Byzantines to get the game to later stages. I am not really sure about this particular matchup though. I think I am liking the potential for Bohemians. But yeah, Slam's gonna need to clutch it up because he's been struggling this series. I do think his civilization's got the potential to take game number 3. But Slam's gotta utilize the civilization properly, right? So if he's going to go for a monk push, monk control's gotta be on point. He's gotta be able to chop through over here, so he's gotta focus on chopping through so he gets access to the goal, of course. The starting goal is going to last only so long. And then Sitaux on the other hand, well, Sitaux is going for fishing ships, actually. Actually, both players are going for fishing ships. There we go. But players will just make a play for the castle age, so it's going to be pretty uneventful for the most part. For the time being, anyway. I kind of do like Sitaux walling out over here, though. If he ends up on the right-hand side as well, that's going to be pretty good. He's already closed the left ear. Meanwhile, Slam was trying to go up to the right ear, actually. A little bit of pressure from Sitaux over here, but he ends up getting pushed away by the villager. Yeah. He cannot really try and stick around here anymore because the villager is going to take the scout down and he doesn't realize, or at the very least he was not paying attention on time, so the villager does end up taking the scout, which is going to leave Sitaux quote-unquote blindfolded, but he already has a bunch of units out. So it's not really going to be blindfolded. He ended up sending all the units he had around the right-hand side, through the ear canal, onto the left-hand side, through the brain, onto the horns to try and prevent Slam from chopping through. And Slam could have tried to do the same, but Sitaux managed to get the walls up over here, so it's not really possible for Slam to go for a similar thing over here, which is going to put Sitaux in a very good spot. Slam will be up in the castle age a lot sooner though compared to Sitaux. So he'll still be able to make his play for monks, but it's only going to be as strong as, or at the very least, it's only going to be possible as long as he still remains, as there still remains some goal over here inside the wall. So we'll see. Send the villagers up in the north. No monks though. It seems like it's just gonna go for the second TC. What is the plan over here? It's not just playing for the late game then. Just full economy over here. He cannot really do it. Down the south over here, this has already gotten walled out. Walled out from Sitaux, so Slam cannot really chop through, which means he cannot get access to the extra resources, which means playing for economy seems kind of disingenuous a little bit here. Second TC is coming up. And I was really expecting to see a full monk push, especially given the amount of gold miners he's got. Sitaux, on the other hand, is going up to the castle age a little bit later with a higher work count. And once he gets to the castle age, He'll chop through very soon, and he doesn't even need to chop through. He could potentially just go around and destroy one of the houses and go for TCs, but I think he's just going to try and chop. Yeah, very soon he'll be able to go for extra TCs down the south. I think he was probably expecting to... He was probably expecting to be able to chop through already. Oh no, he's going for walls on the left-hand side. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was kind of expecting to have chop through already and maybe go for an extra TC over here. But it's fine. He can use the resources. We see a siege workshop coming up. And the second TC is coming up right next to the wood. Then once he chops through, he can try and make a play for a third TC. He's going to need some stone though. So he'll need to buy the stone for it for sure. Well, alternatively, he can just send 2 villagers over here and collect the stone that he needs. Not really sure what's going to be more efficient. But yeah, Slam on the other hand, he's got the 30C up himself. Although he's under a little bit of pressure on the left. Oh! The Spearman actually was able to get some of the fishing ships down over here with its bonus damage. But yeah, the galley over there is cleaning that up. Regardless though, Sitaux should be able to chop through, and he just does it. He goes for the 30C right away. He buys the resources he needs. And this is fantastic. He's still holding on to a higher worker count despite the fact that Slam's been on 3 TCs for longer. But Slam, he's going up to the Imperial Age, guys. I don't know about this. I don't know about it. Sitaux shouldn't take much longer to go up to the Imperial Age because of the discount that Byzantines provide. But yeah, I guess Slam will be able to go for Hovnitsa. He'll be able to go for well, if he goes for monks eventually, that's going to be much better for him to get to the Imperial Age, to get block printing, illumination, theocracy, all the goodies. But I'm kind of wondering though, he is going up on a smaller economy, on fewer military units. So what is the plan? Still gonna start collecting stones, so very soon he'll be able to go for a castle. Slam on the other hand doesn't really have access to stone at all, so yeah. Gotta love Sitau's random archer over here as well, guarding the stone. You shall not chop through. But yeah, I have no idea what Slam's plan is, besides just going for potentially Hovnitsa, given that he's going for chemistry already. Maybe Halberdier and Hovnitsa. Against Byzantines, that seems kind of rough though. Arbalisters? He's got 3 archers though. What is the production setup for Slam? He's going for a second archer range. I guess it could be Arbalisters, but he's not really producing anything. He's only 1 minute away from it. Hand Cannoneer? Hand Cannoneer and Bombard Cannons would actually be good. I don't think he's got... Oh, he does have the Siege Workshop over here, so... Bombard Cannons and Hand Cannoneer is something that I have seen Bohemians go for before. A few times. But it's kind of rough because it can get countered by cavalry. Can potentially get countered by other Bombard Cannons too, although Sitau's not going up just yet. Although he's gonna be on his way very soon. We'll see if he can make it work. He's got the Hand Cannoneer coming out right away. The 3rd archer range is on the way right now as well. As he gets to the Imperial Age, we see Bombard Cannons queued up for Slam as well. And this is, on paper, a very strong army that he's going for. That's going to be beyond the capabilities of Sitau's defensive units whilst he's still in the Castle Age, right? But it's going to be in the Imperial Age very soon, and I don't see Slam going forward anytime soon. Like, it's taking some time for him to mass enough units. It's going to take some time for him to go forward and actually start putting pressure, and Sitau's going to be able to get to the Imperial Age already, I think. Plus, because of Sitau's push over here with the Manuel, if he can just buy himself some extra time and just keep Slam trying to play defensive against this, that'll be so good for Sitaux as well. This could potentially be the 3rd game going in his favor. Here we are. Yes. More hand cannoneer coming out for Slam. Very small amount of units, mind you. He does have a good amount of resources, but once again, production, like the infrastructure is not in place. So it's not really that good. He's got 6 hand cannoneer queued up from 3 archer ranges. Seems to be a little bit of a pattern from Slam. Unfortunately, of course. Sitaux, on the other hand, is getting to the Imperial Age now, and he's got skirmishers coming up. He's not fully committed to anything just yet, so he's not going for anything more than what he already has, which is just 3 archer ranges. He's got chemistry on the way, so he'll go for bombard cannons himself, and Slam, he's not really going for Hubnitsa. His economy is kind of constrained currently. While Sitaux, well, he's getting wheelbarrow. Is ahead in worker count. And I imagine at this point Sitaux probably has collected more resources, right? Yes, but not by too much. Only 22 extra minutes of gathered economy time, which should translate to about 400 extra resources, which isn't really much. Well, he's only now going for wheelbarrow, so probably it's not that much of a difference in the end. We'll see. Fervor coming in for Slam, which is going to affect villagers and is going to enhance his economy a little bit. I'm really sure if he's gotten Sanctity already. He's not gotten Sanctity, so he's just going for Fervor right now. Scale bar the number as well. Oh, Trebuchet from Sitaux. Well, at the very least, he should keep the bombard cannons on their toes. And now that he's got his own bombard cannon coming out, we'll see if he's able to hold on. The good thing for Sitaux is that the castle is just so freaking strong, so resilient, just because of the fact that he's playing Byzantines and it gets 40% extra HP in the Imperial Age, that it's buying him so much time. So he gets the Trebuchet out, he gets the bombard cannon out over here, he's going to try and go for it. Take on the bombard cannons over here from Sitaux, actually from Slam, sorry. There are 3 bombard cannons, 4 bombard cannons over here actually. And dodgeball on. Nice shot. Yeah, actually a pretty decent shot. Take a look at that. Fantastic. Up in the north, the skirmishers are coming over though. Taking on freaking scouts. That is a respectable amount of skirmishes, and boy oh boy, Slam is completely exposed. He's got 33 villages over here exposed to the skirmishers. And yeah, the scout cavalry over here, light cavalry actually, are not really doing enough against the skirmishers. So this is the real problem. Sitaux might be defending over here against the bombard cannons, and Slam is with a bunch of bombard cannons over here, losing 1, mind you, and hand cannoneer, but he's struggling against skirmisher. The skirmisher push over here is incredible. Check that out. Sitaux's population lead right now is approaching a 50% population lead. The skirmishers are still taking the line. Oh god. Slam calls a GG, and Sitaux takes game number 3. Taking a light cab after a light cab with skirmishers and putting so much pressure against them. This was just the most annoying group of skirmishers that I have seen in a while for poor Slam. But Sitaux is up 3-0. The only way back for Slam into the series over here is a full reverse sweep. He's going to try, of course. This is his only way into Red Bull Wololo Legacy, but Sitaux is... He's got one foot on the tournament already. He's just got to win 1 out of 4 remaining games so far. He's gotten a 100% win rate against Slam in this set. For the achievements then, we have a very strong KD for Sitaux in the end, approaching 3-to-1 KD ratio, as well as a stronger economy with 1,200 extra resources and about 16 higher villager count towards the end. It was just going to keep on getting higher and higher as Slam kept on losing villagers on the back. So, not too much to take a look at over here. Let's go back and wait for game number 4. Thank you, Dan. It's appreciated, and thank you so much for your kind words as well. The legend, yeah. Supporting content creators is truly legendary. Thank you so much. What do we get for game number 4? Slam's playing Hindusianis, Sitaux playing Magyars. On paper, Slam should have a pretty good matchup over here. He's going to have camels, faster attacking camels, going to save resources on villagers, while he might end up having to pay for forging if he wants to go for scouts, which he's not going for, by the way, he's just going for archers. But while he would have to pay for forging if he wanted to go for scouts, which Sitaux is going for, it wouldn't be quite as bad because he does have a discount already in the field age of 15% cheaper villagers. So, in the end, it's kind of going to pay off on its own, so to say. At this point in time, though, Slam's gonna go for fletching right away. He's got only 1 archer out, he's got 2 more queued up, and now a stable's coming up. Meanwhile, Sitau's just been going for scouts, and he does actually have an archer range himself, so it's going to be scouts and archers from both players. When we have the same army composition for both these players, it's going to be all about unit control, decision making as well, game sense, go in the right places. Keep on putting pressure. Try to make sure you keep your army together as long as it's not too numerous and only split once you get past a certain amount of units, and we're gonna see. At the very least, if you're not willing to risk it too much, right? You can potentially still do a lot of damage if you go for smaller groups of units separately as opposed to just everything together, but it's going to be risky. In any case, though, one archer goes down over there already from Sitaux, and Slam's pressure over here is looking potentially threatening, but he does end up losing most of the units already, though, and the spearman over there goes down, and I don't think he was able to get a single villager, right? Overall, KD is favoring Sitaux by quite a bit, 2-to-1 ratio at 6-to-3 total KD. Wait a moment, Sitaux was able to get a villager down as well. I think he might have been able to catch one of the villagers trying to go for a dock or something. No, over here. Yeah. He was able to get villagers down on the wood line, so a little bit of a rough beginning over here. While Slam was sending the units forward, he struggled to defend himself. The great thing about the gifted subs as well is that it's also going to be so good for anybody receiving the gifted subs as you're not going to get any commercials anymore. Which I always like to see, of course. I do prefer people to sub, obviously. But anyway, 2 more minutes left, guys, for you to get your predictions going. There is already a few points for each player, so you're going to have potential reward no matter what you go for. And let's check this out. Slam's pressure is just not really paying off so far. To be fair, Sitau's unit control has not been the best. He ended up losing skirmishers over here to scout just fight in melee range. Everyone better than Slam to reverse sweep? Well, you gotta believe, right? If you're rooting for a full series, you're going to send all your energy, even if it's in a prediction contest. So give energy over here to Slam. We should come out with a copy pasta for that. Yeah, exactly, Dan. Appreciate it. Second stable. While, yeah, Sitau's got 2 archer ranges over here, so it's quite a distinct military choice for both these players, right? Mostly archers, some scouts for Sitaux. Because he's playing Magyars, these scouts are already pretty strong. He's going for scale bar armor right now, which is going to make these even stronger, while Slam going for his own scouts is not really going to be a match for the Magyar scouts without forging and without scale bar armor right now. Which is common enough for Sitaux. And Slam, on the other hand, is going for mainly scouts and then some archers. But how can he go for mainly scouts against Magyars while the units are simply not strong enough? He's trying to keep up with the scout production as well, and we see the military count is about the same for scouts for both players, only 1 extra scout for Slam, so until he gets to an actual numbers lead against Sitaux, he won't really be able to take an engagement over here whatsoever. On the other hand, it's also kind of similar to see the archer count for both these players, with Sitaux is only on 8 and he's producing from 1 archer range over here as opposed from both, and Slam is on 7 archers, right? So, yeah, Sitau's not really producing quite as heavily either, but at this point in time, the army composition is looking pretty similar for both players. Ball lane's coming out for both these guys as well, and Slam's getting there a little bit sooner. Sitaux might be tempted to take an engagement right now, and he's going to go for it actually. As Bloodline just finishes researching for him, he does have extra archers over here, significantly more so compared to Slam. So if he plays his cards right over here, should be able to get a better engagement. But Slam seems to be looking a little bit better over here for HP pool, and he does bring the hit into the battle, taking the archers down, the reinforcements, which were coming in from Sitaux, and in the end, it seems like Slam will end up coming out on top over here, taking the archers down, getting the scouts down, and being left on a respectable amount of army he can send forward and try and keep on putting pressure against Sitaux as well. Despite the engagement though, Sitaux is still ahead in score. Why is this? If we take a look at the scouting information, it's not looking too good for Slam, so it's gotta just be the fishing ships over here, the dock and the fishing ships that he's gone for on the right hand side. Because KD is looking better for Slam, right? And the military count's looking better for Slam, so it's just gotta be the extra economy. Damn, boy, in any case, Slam should be on his way to the Castle Age very soon. After that pretty decent engagement, he still managed to rack up enough resources to get it to click out to the Castle Age, while Sitaux on the other hand is kind of struggling though. Obviously, if he does manage to get to the Castle Age and hold on to the worker lead that he's got right now, that's going to pay off pretty soon. But for the time being, Slam's going to have a head start to the Castle Age, which can be really strong, even if he's behind in population. Once he gets to the Castle Age and he's able to go for camels, potentially siege, and maybe even crossbows, that's going to be very hard for Sitaux to defend against. There we are. Beautiful. Castle Age is coming out now for Sitaux as well, and is behind compared to Slam by about 1 minute, like almost exactly 1 minute, but he does get a tower up at the center and pushes Slam away. This can be really good for Sitaux, because once he gets to the Castle Age, let me take a look at the amount of archer ranges. He's got only 2 archer ranges. He could potentially go for cavalry archers, but it seems to me like he's probably going to stick to archers. But regardless, by pushing Slam away from the wood over here, Slam's only going to be able to collect wood from these very small clumps of trees, right? Which are very hard to defend, because if Sitaux was to come forward with some crosses over here, let's say that he's able to... Actually, let's say that he's able to chop through over here. Actually, not chop, but destroy the walls over there. And then he comes over here, just lands with the archers over there. Nothing. Seems like we had a pause, maybe? Might have been a pause. Problem for Sitaux is that he needs cavalry archers now. We'll see what he gets. Yeah, it's just going for archers for the most part. Still only on 2 archer ranges. Yeah, and he can make a play for cavalry archers. It's just going to take some time. There we are. Crossman upgrades coming up. Knights! Double stable is just something he had left from the field age. Didn't think he was going to go for it necessarily, especially against Hindustanis, right? With the 25% faster working, or faster attacking camels, actually. Well, archers can potentially still work. Check this out, the choke point for Sitaux, well played. And the quick walls over here. Yeah, makes it impossible for Slam to get a good surround going. What a play for Sitaux. Well done. But yeah, the numbers are still not the highest for him. He is starting to make a play for Spearman though. He's been queuing them up for a little bit, but he doesn't really have the pikeman upgrade yet. Here we go. This could be good for Slam. He's got the camels still left over here. As the spearmen are coming over though. Still no pikeman upgrade over here, but still going to be enough for him to push and scare the camels away. Still long sticks. The camels don't want anything to do with that. A little bit difficult for Sitaux to defend everywhere at once though. He's got some knights over here, which I'm not the biggest fan of against camels obviously, but he had to bring all the spearmen over to the left, which means that the camels can keep on doing damage on the right. This is not good. What's going on? Why didn't Sitaux just split his army and try to defend? I guess he was just trusting that the tower was going to be enough, and I mean it was for the time being, but it was very risky. While the second TC is on the way for Slam on the back of his base, we see the second TC coming out for Sitaux at the center of the map, which is really good, and it's going to give him more map control, and the center over here is so important once again. Just going to be so much more efficient for you to keep on collecting wood from here as opposed to having to go for basically one new lumber camp every time that you run out of these piles of wood, and it's not going to be quite as efficient, especially if you want to use one lumber camp for more than one clump of trees. It's not good. Wheelbarrow is going to help a little bit. There we go. Pikemen and knights now from Sitaux forward. He's got crossbows coming out still. Once he gets to a good amount, he can group these up and he should be able to hold on against camels still. Just gotta be careful not to just sacrifice them like this. Both players fishing each other for stray villagers or exposed economy. So far nobody's been able to do too much. I think Slam might have been a little bit more lucky over here. He does end up finding one villager and almost getting the tower down over here, but Sitaux does bring the units quite swiftly to defend himself. Oh, the villager's going down over there though. One from Slam. Almost another one. Very low HP left. Yeah, and I'm not really sure how Slam is able to keep up with the economy over here. I mean, the discount on villagers is certainly going to help, especially when producing for more than one TC at a time. But the wood situation, man, the wood situation is very rough. Let's take a look at who's gotten the most gather economy time. It's me, Sitaux, and it's not even close. Almost 1 extra hour of gather economy time for Sitaux is just amazing. There you are. Fantastic. Beautiful. Good defense over here for Slam for the most part. Let's take a look at Sitaux. 30C on the way. He's got 2 spearmen over here, but many of these guns are very low HP, so yeah, Slam doesn't really want to take the engagement over there. He's going to, yeah, he's just gonna have to bail from here. Doesn't that losing one of the camels for free still. With the 30C up, it seems significantly more unlikely that Slam will be able to find any exposed economy from Sitaux. Meanwhile, Sitaux's forward units over here are still threatening. And he might actually end up finding some exposed economies. Gotta be careful though. Not to take a poor trade. Camel push is coming over. Remember, Hindustan still get 2 bonus damage against buildings from camels. Oh, that is not the best way out though for Slam, and he's... Oh, that was so close from Sitaux. That would have been so good for him if he got away with it, but... Yeah, Slam is going to go back over here. It's a big struggle. Slam's struggling to find an opening over here. Meanwhile, Sitaux managed to rack up enough to go for a castle. Slam's getting there, but he's 150 stone away from it still. With 13 villages, not going to take too long, but... It's very unlikely he'll be able to counter castle over here. Especially with all the militaries that we have from Sitaux over here, while Slams are kind of out of position. Oh, but Slam's going for a counter castle drop on the right hand side up in the north. What's he going to do? Oh, he's going for the... Yeah, that's good. Castle over here is finally going to give Slam some control of the wood. However, Sitaux's castle over here is fantastic. He denies a little bit of the farming economy over here, which is not really the worst for Slam. But mostly, he's going to provide a stepping stone around which he can keep on putting more pressure. So he can go for extra military buildings around here and just keep on putting pressure. Slam's going to have a similar situation going on over here, but there's not quite as much surface area for him to work around the castle here. So we'll see. He's going after the villagers right away, though. He's not going to deny the castle over here. He's got to get out of there with the crossbows. Wait a moment, is he? No, he's not denying the castle. It's coming up right away, and Slam gets away with it. Good job. Good job from Slam. Instead of trying to fight the castle over here, probably resulted in a race to the Imperial Age, he's gone for the castle elsewhere. In a much better position as now he's going to get control of some of the wood over there. He's going to end up taking the TC down from Sitaux. Yeah, you know, Islam is starting to look a little bit better right now. Pretty close population for both players. Who will be the first player to get to the Imperial Age? That's going to determine who's going to get the first trebuchets out. It's hard to say. It's hard to say right now. I am still liking Sitaux's economy efficiency a little bit better compared to Slam. Especially as Slam has not gone for any of the wood over here. But obviously Slam's saving resources. Every time he goes for a villager, helps a little bit. Four TC coming up now for Sitaux as well. If he loses the center one, that's going to be the third TC. Meanwhile on the left, DC coming out for Slam, taking a lot of losses over here. The villager count is not quite as high anymore. And Slam did manage to get the villager lead for a moment over there, but he's gone back down to a lower villager count and to a lower military count. Damn! 50C on the way for Sitaux. Oh boy. Gulam's on the way. Interesting. Yeah, this could be really good. That's a lot of pressure coming out from Slam over here. And Sitaux just gotta get out of here. There's no way he'll be able to do much of anything with the TC over here anymore. Not even produce villagers or even keep on going for economy. So he's gonna need to... This is good. And then if he goes for the lumber camp over here, that's going to be much better than just trying to stick to this one. And there's a lot of pikemen. There was a possibility for Sitaux to trap the units in over there. And with all the pikemen coming over, he actually would have been able to get a better trade. Even against the Gulam, I think? Yeah, even against the Gulam, I think, just because of the sheer number of spearmen or pikemen that Sitaux had over here. But yeah, the game's really hectic. Slam's starting to get a little bit of a lead in economy. Just barely, though. Very nice raids from Sitaux. Making the best with a fairly small amount of units. There you are. Nice. My Hazard, let's go. Let's go. For sure. Yeah, fantastic. Slam is holding on to a population lead right now for a little bit. Let's take a look at gather economy time. It's been higher for Sitaux for the longest time, and now it's actually allowed... The villager lead actually has allowed Slam to catch up in gather economy time. So if we take a look at total resources collected, that might actually be about the same for both players. Actually, it might be maybe a little bit higher for Slam. No, it's actually still a little bit higher for Sitaux. He ended up collecting about 600 extra resources, but with the extra villagers that Slam's managed to rack up himself, he should be able to catch up very soon. And Sitaux just keeps on trying to find exposed economy, and Slam on the other hand is just trying to take advantage of the castle at the center to get full control over here. We'll see if he can do it. Looks like your shift is almost over. What is it, almost 8 hours? Probably Yeah, probably. I was gonna try and go for the 2 Valhalla qualifiers that I still had left to cover after this one. That'll make a 10-hour stream though, and I guess most people are just going to take off after Red Bull, the qualifier is over. So I'm not really sure that's actually the best plan. I guess we're probably just going to wait for a few extra sets to be played next week and then just go for like 4 or 5 at the same time, especially given how short they are still in the round 32. Nice. Yeah, I imagine most people are probably just taking off after the qualifier. So we're probably just going to do that. Maybe rest tomorrow. I don't think there are any sets for Valhalla confirmed for tomorrow actually, and then just wait for a few more before going for it. Nice raids over here though from Sitaux. He's got the Magyar Hussar taking on some of the villagers over here, and you know, he's been falling behind for sure. But it's certainly not looking quite as strong for him anymore, and the lead for Slam is quite substantial with the second castle coming up here. Yeah, Slam is looking much stronger right now. There is no way that Sitaux will be able to go for any extra castles himself, so probably just not getting pushed away from here. Plus Slam's starting to go for towers, and he's going to get more and more map control. Let's take a look at how much map control Slam is getting with this tower, both towers actually, and the castle. Check this out. That is a lot. That is a lot that Sitaux is getting pushed away from. So game number 4 seems like it's finally going in favor of Slamboy. Well, the reverse sweep dream is real. It was your predictions that allowed Slam to get ahead over here. All he's gotta do right now is win 3 games back-to-back against Sitaux, who has had up until this point, assuming that Slam takes game number 4, a 75% win rate. Just saying. But it's possible. Unlikely, but not impossible. No more pressure around Slam's base anymore. Yeah, he's the one. He's the one coming forward. There you are. This is a fantastic castle position as well. Probably would have, honestly, maybe would have liked to see the castle perhaps come up over here. That would have been absolutely fantastic. He would have needed to get the house down though, but that would have been a rule. That would have allowed them to target all 3 TCs at the same time, but come on, this is... It's probably as unlikely as it gets, right? Yeah, this is still good though. You could get raided if you do another series after this one. I could do that. And then we are going to be out of series though. We'll see, we'll see. I'm gonna take a look at Wikipedia after this series to see if we have any Valhalla qualifiers confirmed for later, for the week. Fantastic. There we go. This is really good push from Sitaux, but it's unlikely he's going to get enough villagers to offset for the villager that Slam's managed to get so far. Plus Slam keeps on going for more and more Gulan, which are so resilient against arrows that you're just going to use this as seagulls, roaming around, just getting villager after villager, and Sitaux's economy is an absolute disaster. He's taking all the villagers over the right-hand side. Oh, these farms are looking like wasted resources at this stage. Yeah, and Magyars have nothing now, so the matchup was looking good for Slam. Good thing that he was able to take advantage of it. And the score lead is quite significant right now. Compared to what it was before, Sitaux should realize and how much of a better position Slam is. Plus, if he doesn't realize about it now, he's probably going to realize the moment Slam actually gets to the Imperial Age. I wouldn't be surprised if Slam clicks up to the Imperial Age and Sitaux calls it GG the moment he realizes about the score drop. If he's paying attention, that is. Slam's not pulling the trigger though. Keeps on going for more and more units. Not really saving the resources, although he was getting kind of close to having enough. And Sitaux's gonna keep on trying. After all, he does have 100 villagers, which is a pretty respectable economy. And a good amount of military units, just that he's not been able to do any damage around Slam space anytime soon. And there we go. That's an interesting castle from Slam for sure. Slam boy! He'll end up getting the TC down over here and probably... yeah, getting this TC down afterwards. If not with the castle, probably just with the Gulam and the camels. Still remember that they do get 2 bonus damage against buildings, and this TC doesn't even really have any villagers garrison inside it, so... it will be... an easy pick. 105 castle, this one from Sitaux that is going to get the knight. Yeah, I know you're talking about this one, but this seems like... no, okay, it's not going to get the knight, never mind. Sitaux gets it up, but it's unlikely he'll be able to do too much. As Slam's finally racked up enough resources, he's going up to the Imperial Age in the next minute. And if Sitaux doesn't realize about the score drop over here, thus calling the GG, he's probably going to end up calling it the moment that Slam gets to the Imperial Age, because otherwise the castle's going down to trebuchets, the DCs are going down to trebuchets, and there's no defenses for Sitaux's economy anymore. There we go, Slam should be going up. It's a very subtle score drop over here. The players have been dropping score for quite a while every time that they just mass queue units. Or take engagements and lose units actually, so... yeah, I don't think Sitaux probably knows about it. However, he will go up to the Imperial Age himself though, which I do find very interesting. And I wasn't really expecting to be the case necessarily from Sitaux. He ended up unfortunately misclicking, but now he's gotten his economy back, so he's going up to the Imperial Age himself. It's gonna be a pretty interesting lead over here. Yeah, only about 49 seconds or so. Yeah, 49 seconds faster for Slam. He does have more than one castle though. He's got more than 2 castles actually. He's got 3, 4 castles over here. So in a trade war situation, Slam should be in a much better position. Speaking of good positions, let's take a look at the amount of gold that's available for Sitaux. He's got this gold over here. That's got above 900 left. And then this one on the right hand side, which is under control by Slam actually. So this is going to be Slam's gold now. Then the golds over here are under Slam's control as well. All 4 of these tiles, all 5 of these tiles actually. So there isn't really a lot for Sitaux to keep on playing with. 3,000 gold and that's it. If he has not gotten out of his base by then, it's gonna be screwed. Unless he was able to go for a lot of Magyar Hazard maybe, but as long as Slam's got access to gold, he can just keep on going for camels, and yeah, the Magyar Hazard are not going to stand a chance. Imperial Age is there for Mr. Slam. Imperial Age is gonna be here for Sitaux in a little bit. He keeps on trying. I don't know how Sitaux would be able to take this game, but if he was able to do it, that'd be an incredible comeback. That'd be an amazing clean sweep over here. But most likely than not, Slam's going to be in a much better position. He already has trebuchets queued up over here from the center castle, so he can go after the castles from Sitaux. And let me take a look to see exactly which castles Slam is aware of. So he's aware of the left-hand side castle, he's aware of the right-hand side castle. He's not aware of this one just yet, but he's going to realize about it very soon. As he keeps on roaming around with the camels, he's going to get targeted by the castle when he tries to get to this position. And Imperial Age is here now for Sitaux, but what can he do? That's the problem. Here we go. Slam's realized about the goal, but the goal's run out. 0 goal minus for Sitaux. Wait, he still has some? No, he calls it GG. So Slam finally goes on to secure game number 4 over here. And once again, it's going to require a full reverse sweep for Slam to come back into the series. Let's go and take a look at the achievements. And what do we get? A very close to 4 to 3 KD ratio for Slam, as well as a stronger economy with about 9,300 extra resources or so. Faster uptimes both to the castle and Imperial Ages, and a much higher worker count, especially towards the end of the game. It was a little bit of a slippery slope over here for Sitaux. Was just going to keep on getting better and better for Slam. So I like the matchup. Gotta be honest, Slam struggled probably a little bit more than I would have liked to see. And Sitaux did a really good job putting pressure and doing a lot of damage up until Slam was eventually able to go up to the Imperial Age. But yeah, well played still to both players actually. Yes, sir. Welcome everyone to game number 5 then. Let's very quickly do this. There you are. And take a look at what we get. Archer range is on the way already for Sitaux. Archer range is already on the way for Slam. Makes sense for both these players. Slam could potentially start adding a few Eagle Scouts into the mix. After going for a few Archers over here, since he already has the barracks. He's actually going for Eagle Scouts right away. And Sitaux, on the other hand, yeah, it's got the second Archer range coming up. Beautiful. There we go. The Eagle Scouts are getting spotted right now by Sitaux's scout. Yeah, and double Archer ranges over here could be kind of rough. Sitaux's civilization will provide 20% extra HP on Archer units. But the Eagle Scouts over here with scale mail armor are actually pretty resilient against Archers, so Sitaux's gonna need a good amount of units before he can take on the Eagle Scouts over here. Fortunately for Sitaux, Eagle Scouts take significantly longer to train as well compared to Eagle Warriors, so by getting to a good amount of Archers, enough so that he can actually fight off the Eagle Scouts, he should still be in a pretty good position, even if we see extra units queued up from Slam, simply by the fact that Slam won't be able to get them out quite as fast. In the Castle Age, going for Archers against Eagles is just suicidal. Usually you have an economy that's going to allow you to produce from more than 1 barracks at a time, usually 3 or more. But over here in the Fuel Age, we might see double barracks Eagle Scout production from Slam, maybe. But Sitaux, you know, as long as he can keep double Archer range production over here, once it gets to 10, 15 Archers, is just not going to have to worry about the Eagle Scouts anymore. So it's looking a little bit better for Sitaux. Slam, on the other hand, has not kept on going for Eagle Scouts. He does have one more queued up over here, I imagine, for scouting. But he does have skirmishers coming up, which I do like a little bit better. It's gotta be careful. Positioning over here is key. On acclivity, whoever gets a hold of the ridge at the center is usually gonna be able to get much better trades. With the extra HP that these Archers get, plus the hail advantage over here, they do not really struggle against skirmishers too much. Especially as Slam has not really gotten Panther Arch armor, the Archers are really strong for Sitaux. Slam will, however, get enough resources to click out to the Castle Age very soon, and he adds another barracks over here, so that's going to be the beginning of the rest of the game for Slam. With this barracks coming up, he indicates what his intention is for the next one, for the next stage, right? And Mike, thank you so much for the raid. It's appreciated, and welcome everyone. We are casting Slam versus Sitaux. Game number 5 over here. So far it's been much better for Sitaux, but Slam played a really good game number 4. We'll see if we get a full series or not. Regardless though, this is what we get. Acclivity, Incas, and the enemies. Hope you had a great stream, Mike. Thank you so much for the raid. Casting low level Valhalla. Nice. I was considering casting some of the remaining sets that I haven't cast yet from Valhalla after this series, but I'm not really sure. We're gonna see. We're gonna take a look at Wikipedia to see if there are any confirmed sets for next week. We're going to I'm going to assess what the situation is with my voice, because it's after yesterday, it's kind of rough today. Thank you, Mike. Hey, Shikaba. Hi. Fortunately, I still have one cup of tea left after the one that I'm having right now, so that's going to alleviate the pressure a little bit. One thing's for sure, though, no matter what happens after this one, I will need probably 5 minutes to have my breakfast. It's 7 p.m. Castle Edge there for Slam. Castle is gonna be here for Sitaux in about a minute, significantly later, while Slam's going already for his forward-ish siege workshop. On the hill, it's good. It's funny how Empire Wars, it's intended to make games quicker, but it just doesn't happen. Well, we just had some very quick games earlier today. We had a sub 15-minute game and we had a sub 10-minute game. To be fair. There you are. There are a few factors over there, though. If you wanted to take a look at the numbers, we could check how long the games are on other tournaments which do not feature Empire War Starts, for instance, and how long the games are on average on the Red Bull qualifiers. And you can do that by taking a look at the dashboard. There is a maps tab that's going to tell you the average game length on each map. And you can just like do an average for all the maps on the qualifiers over here versus an average for a different tournament. Maybe not Valhalla, because obviously those games are going to be longer. Even on a 9 village start, of course. But I imagine that there's also something about the fact of this being a tournament qualifier that players are going to try a little bit longer compared to standard games. I imagine in ranked in several situations where we see players keep on trying in this tournament. On ranked, they probably would have called a GG already a while ago. In any case, Dam's getting a nice villager pick over here. That's going to be the first villager pick that he gets. Meanwhile, Sitaux so far been able to get 2. Oh, but it's open though. Slam's coming in. He's got the Eagle Warriors. And it might be happening, guys. Slam's putting a lot of pressure over here. There are double stables over here for Sitaux to try and defend himself against the Eagles, but it might be happening. Slam's getting a nice little lead over here. If he's able to hold on to this one and take advantage of it, there's a very real chance we might get a second win for Slam over here if he can play his cards right. And, you know, that just makes the full set. And the possibility for a reverse sweep that much more likely. That much likelier? That much more probable. Probabler? Probable. More probable, right? More likely. Yeah. Nice round with the Eagle Warriors. These archers are most likely going down. Sitaux still on a stronger military count though. He was able to clean up the units on the right hand side. Now he's pushing back with some knights. And over here he'll most likely end up getting cleaned up. But he does have a good amount of units still left. Interestingly enough, he still goes for more crossbows though, so he's expecting Slam to make a play for pikemen at some point. I'm really sure. Because crossbows are simply going to go down to eagles, and so far Slam hasn't really shown anything that indicates a switch into anything other than eagles. I really like Mesa versus Vietnamese, so I went with Slam. Let's see. Well, Incas specifically, they are not a Mesa, but I get what you're saying. Vietnamese are going to struggle. Wayne going for archers against Eagle Warriors. Nice engagement. The Eagle Warriors are coming out on top over here. Not in too many numbers though, and not in very high HP, so... yeah, I should still be able to get the crosses down though. More knights coming out. Yeah, not too many eagles queued up right now for Slam, but he did go for the second TC and he's got the third TC coming out right now, which is going to impact his ability of going for extra Eagle Warriors. Sitaux, on the other hand, just keeps on going for double stable production though. Yeah, uninterrupted. It'll be funny if you started with one stable on Empire Wars, so Zolotos will be a thing. I would love that. That'd be so good. Nice pick. So far, Ikukidi has been pretty low overall, though, from both these players, all things considered. I was thinking it'd be a cool map gimmick if maps had guy stables. You mean stables that you can convert? Yeah, maybe. Or you start with Dal Monastery? Beautiful push over here, Sitaux. Denying a lot of the economy from Slam. Might be able to get some villages down over here. Has not gotten ballistics just yet. So those crosses are not quite as effective at taking villages down at a distance, unless the villages are just standing still, like this one. But yeah. The Eagle Warriors are coming out very soon. Yeah, Sitaux knows. Sitaux knows. We'll get out of here. There you go. He gets pushed out by the Eagle Warriors for the time being though, but still retains a much higher military count. If he's ever hoping to make use of these crosses, he will need to group them together. The problem is that now he's probably going to end up losing the group over here. He's bringing some knights, so we'll see if he can actually save the crossbows. That'll be really good. So he's going after it, and Slam realizes about the knights, bails. And most of the crosses I think survived over here, but once again, he needs to group them up. And that's not good! These are out of position. Probably would have liked for... yeah, Slam already had the TC garrison, so you can save any time going after those crossbows, but... yeah, in the end, the crosses get away, and this is so much better for Sitaux. He's got all his units grouped up. So now, he can start putting pressure, and he can defend the crossbows with the knights. He can use the crossbows to get villagers down, and potentially even the eagles down, right? And there's a 4C treasure coming up for Sitaux. The only problem with this is that they are going to be disconnected by the TC over here, so it's not going to be possible for him to defend the siege that he's going for over here with the units he's got on the left hand side. Meanwhile, Snap, he's sending the eagles forward already. And guess what? Sitau's actually open. He's overchopped. He's open over here as well. He's running out of gold, so very important for him to try and make a play for one of the extra golds. And he does have some gold over here left down south and some gold on the right hand side. It's just not being collected too much of it. But anyway, here comes Sitaux. He's got a lot of knights. Villagers are going down over there for sure. He's going after the TC over here, which is great. Against them is distracting the knights for a little bit, but I think the TC's going down. Meanwhile, on the right hand side, the eagles are coming over. The repairs are coming in from Sitaux as well. This is a very, very intense moment in the game. If Slam ends up losing the TC over here, it's going to be a lot of villages going down for sure. Even without ballistics, the crosses are there, the knights are there. We simply do not have enough Eagle Warriors coming out over here. Plus, the economy from Slam is in shambles. So if he loses the TC over here, that's going to be a huge blow for his economy. As it does right now, being able to catch up in villager count for the most part. Slam losing the villagers over here is huge. And it seems like the TC is going down. Plus, without the TC over here to defend the barracks, you know, Sitaux can actually go after the barracks and full stop the production of Eagle Warriors for Slam. So this could be huge. Meanwhile, Slam on the right hand side wasn't able to do much of anything. So guys, he was looking really strong for Sitaux. Still has some knights over here. He's not really going for too many more. He's got 14 total and only 6 left over here. So most of the knights still are away elsewhere. But he's taking the TC down, and the next thing going down certainly should be the barracks over here. So he's going for it. Actually, he's just going to go back and try to clean up the Eagles. But yeah, Slam's economy has taken a huge blow. Meanwhile, Sitaux, he's got the 3rd TC coming up now. And managed to get a villager lead now. There is a 4-1 feel up in the air. I do agree with you. Yes. But anyway. The TC's taking a lot of heat over here as well. Slam did go for additional TCs down south, so losing the first TC over there was not necessarily too bad. He can keep on going for a bunch of villagers, and he's producing from 4 TCs at a time. The problem with that is that he spent a lot of resources going for the extra TCs. It's going to be the same situation up in the north over here, with the TC going down, all the farms being unusable right now, at the very least for Slam. And Sitaux is in a much better position. A lot of extra military units. And then on the right hand side, there is a nice raid coming up from Slam though, but Sitau's reaction was swiftly, and the reaction was swift actually. He managed to get a defensive castle up, so now these Eagles are not going to be quite as effective. Meanwhile, there's a defensive castle coming up for Slam, but it's not really going to do much of anything to prevent the push on the left hand side, where he's got 3 out of 4 remaining TCs. Sitau's got to realize about this. Yeah, he bails. And then on the right hand side, that's a lot of villagers going down from Sitaux though. This is great for Slam. Finally, he's able to get some good damage over here with the units. However, Sitau's still on the left hand side with both these magnets. A lot of knights in the crossbow, so this TC is going down in a moment, and then potentially these TCs are going down very, very soon afterwards as well. There's a big issue right now for Slam, and that is the access to gold. He's got just 1 gold over here that he's collecting from. First off, he's got just 7 gold minus, which is not anywhere near enough for him to spam Eagles from more than just 1 barracks, right? And if he ends up getting pushed away from here, I don't think he's got access to any extra gold, so even if he was able to get a bunch of villagers down over here, Sitaux should be able to bounce right back. His economy is going to plump right back up. Meanwhile, Sitau's on the other hand is... Slam's on the other hand, so is not really in the same position, so he gets pushed away from the goal, and all of a sudden Slam is out of it. 6 military units! He got completely cleaned up on the right hand side. The Eagles going down to the Knights. Meanwhile, he's going for extra TCs, just trying to survive a little bit longer, getting control of the extra farms once again, and potentially getting access to both these gold tiles. But even if he managed to get away with it, that's going to be only 1,300 gold. This is awful. And can Slam see the gold in the corner? Well, he wouldn't really be able to collect it, but he can see it right now. And boy, oh boy, I'm not really sure what Slam was trying to do with the castle over here. Yeah, this is a YOLO play. Guys, it's over. Slam is losing all the villagers over here. This castle's not coming up ever. Shouldn't be coming up ever. Yeah, and actually the TC is coming up over here before the castle. So, actually Slam is relocating the foundation. Where are the units though? Where are the Rattan archers? Why? Okay, he's going back now. But yeah, there's no way this castle's coming up, right? Quick walls are coming up. Not going to do anything against the Rattan archer. Yeah, but even with this castle coming out, what does he do? Yeah, the castle comes up. What does that give him? Nothing. What is this castle doing? Pushing Sitaux from resources he was not collecting from. And then on the left-hand side, there we go. Slam calls a GG. Congrats. Hope you enjoyed Germany. So wholesome. And wouldn't expect anything less from Slam over here. Well done. 4-1 is going to be the final score over here for Sitaux. We'll play the predictions, take a look at the achievements really quickly. And for military, we have a very close to 3-2 KD ratio in favor of Sitaux over here. We're going to see for economy, a stronger economy for Sitaux by quite a bit, collecting about 4,000 extra resources. And despite the matchup over here being potentially good for Slam, he struggled big time. The work account towards the end was better as well for Sitaux, and he doesn't end up taking this one. So, well played. Congrats to Slam, to Sitaux, sorry. And Slam, he's unfortunately not making it this time around, but he did make it last time around, I think. I'm actually not really sure, but let's go back and let's hop into the interview.
Congratulations. What a big win, the biggest of your career, arguably. And that's even including the big performance in KOTD. How do you feel?
I'm feeling really good. Yeah, like really good.
Nice. It felt so deserved as well. Let's go back to last weekend. You were already handled as one of the big favorites to qualify. And then you had this crazy close set against Daniel, who then later won his round of 8. What were your takeaways from the first qualifier?
When I saw Daniel winning 4-0 versus Valas, I was like, okay, my set was close, so I'm close to qualify. I just need to like get a good seed, and I shouldn't face like Jordan or ACCM, which were really scary to face. And then I felt favorite versus everyone else, I think.
Okay, nice. Yeah. And you were going into the set against Slam. How confident were you there? Because I think last time Red Bull qualifier for 5, he beat you, right?
Yeah, he beat me, but I was really confident because I practiced all these games, so I knew what to expect from him and what to do versus him.
Okay. Then we went into Arabia game 1. What do we have as civilizations there?
We had Tata versus Chinese.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Tatars, you played the 1 archer range, no fletching, into a relatively fast castle without the market use. Was market use ever on the table for you?
If it was a longer feudal age, yes, but with Tata, the ship lasts so long that you don't even need market. Like, if you need market, it means you have 2 million gold because you could have those villagers on ship.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I like that approach for sure. And then you basically got out there with the crossbows and got the hill in the center. Did you ever feel like there's a way that this game could slip away from you?
Yeah, because I felt like my eco was probably a bit weaker. He had like Chinese, probably more eco upgrades. And I think Chinese is better early imp in those 3TC fast imp plays. So I was not really confident even after I took an advantage. I knew I had to push. That's why I did mangonels. And it worked.
It worked indeed, yeah. Mangonel Micro was pretty on point there. Then we went into Kavasan and a game where we went completely crazy. Slam had the hill, had TC next to the berries, and you still were able to make so much happen in Castle Age. What happened there?
I think the double monastery carried me because I was taking so many good trades, and also stealing the relics. That was such an important move. I think I got like 4k
like,
gold.
how does that like happen in the game? Like, are you smiling there? Are you thinking like, oh, poo, you dodged a bullet, or what was going through your head after you hazed those relics?
Okay, normally I would smile, but here I was so stressed. I don't think I did a smile, but I was quite happy to get those because, like, usually center means relics, and it's really hard to get away versus all-in with versus someone who has 5 relics. But here at 4 relics, I was feeling confident. I knew I had to hold, which is not easy with a heal control, but yeah, I was feeling really good when I took those relics.
Yeah. We were impressed by that as well. Jumping into game 3, the Bull. That felt like a my Insanity special. Like, how much did you practice that map with your My Insanity teammates?
We didn't practice it that much. We talked a lot about strategies on this map, though. And yeah, that was a strategy we had since first week. And I really knew what to do. Like, I had in mind what I needed to do, so I just reminded myself before the game. And that was just doing a clear plan, like playing a build order scenario, and that's it.
Okay, nice. Then we had a crazy wild Atacama game where we felt like both are going, like you went 3 stables, got so much. Where did it slip out of your hands, you felt?
I think in Feudal Age, I took a bad fight. I didn't check his upgrades or his scouts. I checked like 30 seconds ago, and I was ahead in upgrades, and then the fight was really bad. And then it was not looking really good because I lost my archer number, and versus Hindustani, you struggle so much versus camels if you don't have that archer number. And I had to win early on because Hindustanis are just like, much better later on. I feel like they're weaker early, but if they hold, they're going to be way superior.
Okay. Were you like concerned at all? Like, oh boy, I'm 3-0 up, and now he's getting back his confidence and can take the whole set away from you, or were you still like heavily confident?
I was confident because I've been playing ton of Acclivity in the ladder. That's by far my best map, like by far. And also I was feeling pretty good today. Like sometimes you have a bad day and sometimes you have a good day. Like today was a good day, so I just needed to focus.
Okay. So how do you think Incas can play it to beat Vietnamese there?
I'm not sure. I think Eagle is only viable with Aztec, and I think that's just that's a safe win for Vietnamese. Maybe
That
play
hard.
like a defensive siege and try to boom into then spam eagle and just raid with some eagles at the same time. But like defensive mangonels will work, but it's definitely not easy for him.
Okay, then you're going to the main event. What are your goals for the tournament?
Top 8. Yeah, top 8.
Okay, reasonable goal for sure. What are you most looking forward to at the Heidelberg?
Do my first LAN event because I never participated to any, and that's yeah, I can't wait to be there and meet the AOE community, everyone, and play in the LAN event. That's not something you can do every day.
Yeah, true. How's your preparation going to look like? Like my Insanity, they have to be really happy with the result now, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, we are practicing a lot. I was like, even if I lost to Daniel, I was really happy for him that he qualified. I wanted to qualify to go with him even more. So yeah, we are all really happy.
Okay, anyone with any questions? Otherwise, I would just repeat my congratulations. Very happy that you're going to be there. Feels very deserved as well. And you will be a tough task for a lot of people. We know with your crazy archer and scale micro.
I hope so. Thank you.
So I can't wait to meet you for the first time ever at a LAN event. It's never happened before.
We met each other in Hamburg. Thank you for not remembering.
I was making sure you remembered. Yo, congratulations though. Great series for Slam and well played in general.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, bro.